Lisa Lanier is our official attorney of this program. She joins us every week at this time. She goes inside multiple legal cases. She solves them all within minutes. Lisa, hello, and how are you?
I'm fantastic. I hope you guys are.
Doing very well, thank you. Warning, B.B. Shea is here.
Sorry.
B.B. Shea.
Yeah, he's here. But Dave is out, so he won't be hitting on you and stuff today. But B.B. Shea, you lose that at least. We're fascinated by this first story. It has to do with sports and a team that was near and dear to a lot of hearts here in our area 41 years ago, the 1983 NC State basketball team that won the national championships as a huge underdog, beat Houston in the final by 2 points. Incredible last-second play to win the championship. Lorenzo Charles dunking the ball home, Derek Whittenberg shooting the shot, and then Jim Balvano, the coach, of course, running around the court looking for somebody to hug. It's become an iconic piece of video that you see every March. I mean, you see it all the time. So now several of the players on the Cardiac Pack team from 1983, including the starters, Thurl Bailey, Terry Gannon, who now works for ABC ESPN, Cozell McQueen, some others, they are suing the NCAA saying, hey, our name, image, and likeness is being used to promote your product. We are owed millions in back pay. They've been using us for 41 years, and we want it. But most of us thought, now, wait a minute. The rules at the time, I think, were you get a scholarship, you get your 4 years room and board paid for, you make your deal, you sign the paper, you play basketball, and then they get to use the video forever. Now, if they win this case, it seems like forever, college basketball, football players, athletes of any kind could say, you got to pay me to use this name, image, likeness, even in the future. What do you think, Lisa Lanier?
Well, this is actually just part of a whole series of litigation that actually threatens to dismantle the NCAA, threatens to ruin it, take it down. It started with a case in 2015 where the NCAA licensed a video game using the likeness of some players. And they said, wait a minute. Now, we get that, you can use footage of us and that sort of thing, but really you're going to create a video game and use our image in there. It just didn't seem right. And so that case, that's the NCAA versus Alston, went all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, nope, this is an antitrust violation to use these images. And so from there, the NCAA tried to respond, and they created what they call the NIL program, which is the name, image, likeness program. But it has turned into kind of a nightmare, like a pay-to-play almost, because they tried to set it up so that it wouldn't be a pay-to-play, but then the universities figured out a way around that, and they created booster clubs. And the booster clubs then paid the recruits. And so there ended up, being situations where people were bidding on incoming, potential freshmen, and just turned into a big nightmare. And then now there's another case. A class action has been certified. Former players, just like this Cardiac Pack, who say, look, you've been using my image for all these years. That has been certified as a class action, and the judge already went on record saying that she thinks that these players are going to be entitled to 10% of the media revenue. That is over $1 billion. So
what?
That the NCAA could potentially owe. So what they're finding is that this idea that these kids had to play for just their scholarship and that their image could continue to be used over time like this, that runs afoul of, first of all, the Supreme Court said antitrust violation. Secondly, privacy, right of publicity laws all over the place. You continue to use their image. It's one thing to air a game. It's another thing to continue to use their image over time to make money. Wow. And so their NCAA is in trouble here. I mean, that could be over $1 billion, and that Cardiac Pack case is just like this one that's been certified as a class.
I'm floored.
I am too. I think the NCAA is going to be going away. I mean, everybody has called that.
A lot of people think so. Yeah, a lot of people think so.
And then it'll become just the ACC or really the Big Ten and the SEC. That's what it's becoming. They're all moving to that conference anyway, and they'll start their own super thing or whatever it'll be. But I get it, but the NCAA tournament is such a big deal. If the NCAA goes away, will somebody else run that? Will it be called some other? I don't know how.
I guess it will. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's a lot of unanswered questions about some of our traditions around the NCAA. But to be clear, these courts are not saying that these kids from 40 years ago should have been eligible to, to be paid for their, what was happening at the time in terms of, the games that were being aired at the time. But they said, look, you're continuing to use that. That's the problem. I think the NCAA probably took it. They actually brought this all on themselves with that video game. I mean, I don't think any of this would have happened that's what started the whole avalanche.
Well, I get that, but when March Madness comes around next year, can't the NCAA, shouldn't they be allowed to show all these highlights that and use it in their commercials?
Oh, sure, but absolutely. But you got to, just like any other industry, you got to pay those people.
But if by that logic, if I'm the NCAA, then anytime anyone does anything on videotape, you have to pay that person.
It seems that way. If they're going to use it more,
that's how. You think if these kids are allowed to. It's been decided that these kids are allowed to own their likeness, and then that was the Supreme Court's decision. And so when that's the case, then you just like any other person, you have to pay. I can't use your image, Chris Kelly, in a commercial without paying you.
No, you're gonna. No. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, we do this show here every day. You all know that. Mm-hmm. Let's say many years from now we retire. We're gone. The show is over. Does the company that owns this show they'll say they just want to run reruns of it for a year? Do they have to pay us, or can they just they own it?
I'm sure in your contract they have the rights to the show, and to air the show, and so that's different. But someone could not use, one of your advertisers couldn't use your image or your voice years from now and say, endorsed by Chris Kelly or whatever.
I see. Okay. All right. I'm open to all these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
You know how that goes. What a case. That is really interesting to me. Now, there's a different case, much smaller, I guess. A woman has filed a lawsuit against her sister after her sister's cat bit her while she was in her home in Michigan, and she says she suffered severe injuries there. Tara Simpson is her name. Went from Alabama to Michigan to visit her sister, Samantha Scherer, and while she was there, the cat attacked, she says, without any warning, bit her near the right wrist and left multiple puncture wounds, requiring substantial medical treatment to her right upper extremity and a surgery. So she is, and physical therapy. And she's saying, I want in excess of $75,000 for these injuries. 15-year-old Zoe died in March. That's the cat. Oh. Scherer said she
Unrelated.
Unrelated. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Natural causes at age 15.
Yeah.
The sister says, I was shocked. I'm stunned that this happened. Does the woman that gets bit get paid here, Lisa? What do you think?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do here is get the cat owner's homeowner's insurance, which to do that, you have to sue the homeowner.
Yes.
And I'm actually surprised that the homeowner, the sister, is saying she was surprised because normally, usually the sister would say, hey, look, your homeowner's insurance isn't cooperating. My lawyer's got to sue you, but, we're just trying to get your homeowner's insurance. I think usually, I have to go after my clients, some of their, friends or relatives' homeowners insurance for, say a dog attack or something like that.
Right.
And usually, in my experience, they tell the person, hey, we're not really trying to come after your money. We just want your homeowner's insurance.
Right.
So, relax when you get served by the sheriff, or whatever.
Yeah, just relax.
So,
Sheriff's going to come out.
Relax. Yeah. Breathe in and out. It's going to be okay. Breathe in and out.
Man.
But, but I think it's, it's a pretty straightforward thing. If the cat had, the law is pretty similar in all jurisdictions. If the cat had a known propensity to be dangerous or, unpredictable, volatile or whatever, then you got to take measures to, warn people or protect them from it. And apparently this lady these injuries were terrible. I read a different article about the same story, and it said she had multiple surgeries. Apparently the bacteria in the cat's mouth, it's an old cat. Probably had a nasty mouth.
A nasty cat mouth, right? Yeah. That's
right.
As a cat owner, Lisa, you can't imagine. No cat will be ever considered predictable.
That's true.
They're
correct.
Just
right. I agree. I have
like
cats too.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, Tim, you have several cats. Is there like one?
Yes.
I find when I go,
yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I find when I go to somebody's house that has like more than one cat, they're like, that one's cool. That one, stay away from.
Watch that one.
Stay away from. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
That's true. They are unpredictable, even more so than dogs, probably.
Yeah.
But
they have tendencies, but they're unpredictable.
Yeah.
We have a cat now too, and they're interesting. We didn't grow up with cats, but I am really enjoying our cat now because
Look at you.
I am. I've really come over. And this cat is, I mean, I like the cat a lot, but they make you earn it. You know, they're not like dogs.
Oh, yeah.
They make They make you earn it.
Got to work for it.
This is about dogs, too. From Gaithersburg, Maryland, a woman got a puppy in December of 2022, named him Bo, fell in love with him, but after a few months noticed there was strange behavior, so she took him to the vet, and the vet said, well, he's got a neurological condition, prescribed some medication, and said, if it doesn't improve or gets worse, you're going to have to put the dog down because this is a case that just can't be fixed. So after a few months, dog was acting worse. She, through tears, had to go have the dog put down. I believe she had the dog put down at a facility, not at the vet's place. Well, she signed on the paperwork. Yeah, we're putting the dog down, whatnot. Well, the folks that were going to put the dog down said, no, we can fix this dog. They had a surgery, fixed the dog. Now, the lady who owned the dog, year later, sees the dog up for adoption again on the website and says, wait a minute.
That's my dead dog.
That's my dead dog.
That's my dog.
You didn't kill my dog.
She surrendered it to the shelter.
Okay, right.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was the issue. And so when she surrendered it and signed the paperwork, they said, well, we're not going to put the dog down, but you can't have the dog back. And she's like, but I want the dog back. That's my dog. That's Bo. Can she get the dog back, Lisa?
No, she's not getting the dog back. They have a clause. She didn't read the fine print in that contract of adoption because it said, if you bring it back, we're not giving it to you again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's clear. It's in their contract. And they, their idea, I think, is that, if you don't, most people, if it's, you couldn't take care of the dog, you didn't keep the dog, whatever,
Yep.
You're not going to get like buyer's remorse and keep coming back here and going like, actually, yeah, I'd like it again.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, sounds like the dog was misdiagnosed because it turned out the shelter veterinarian said this dog doesn't have a neurological problem, it has a liver condition.
Okay, right.
And so they treated the liver condition and the dog got better. But, that's unfortunate for the lady. I mean, I can see she's upset. And they could bend the rule probably for her. Nobody would be any the wiser. But they're not going to do it. They're like, nope.
Well,
it's back up for adoption.
Now, since the dog was misdiagnosed, I might have bent the rule and said, oh, okay, you never would have brought the dog back. It was misdiagnosed by your vet.
Right.
Does she have any kind of action against her vet?
You technically the vet may have violated, depends, because if the condition presented like a neurological condition, and if that condition that the vet diagnosed the dog with was in the sort of in the umbrella of possible diagnoses, then no. I mean, I don't think they did anything wrong. But if it was just completely errant, then they could. But the value is the value of the dog.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nothing.
At a shelter, $75?
Right. It's not. I do feel bad for this lady though. Here's her dog she thought was long dead.
But she had bad intel.
Of course, at least the dog is alive and will be adopted out to somebody else, I suppose.
Yeah.
Story from Massachusetts. This is Martha's Vineyard. They are running out of marijuana. It's legalized there. It's illegal. Medical marijuana is legalized. They've had it there.
What state is Martha's Vineyard?
Massachusetts, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven, Massachusetts, officially. They have a rule where marijuana cannot go by boat or plane over certain waters. And Martha's Vineyard says, well, we want to do it. We want to have our marijuana shipped in through state territorial waters, but they're clashing. So they're running out of pot, and there is a lawsuit.
Summer's here. 4th of July's coming up.
4th of July's here, and nobody can get their weed on Martha's Vineyard. Lisa, what's the lawsuit all about? How can they get their weed to Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the lawsuit is filed by a 77-year-old, and Granny cannot get her high on.
That's
she is
right.
upset.
That's right.
She is upset. She says it helps her back pain, and she is going crazy without it. And what they had originally, they had a grower on Martha's Vineyard, but he shut down. So that really
that's the problem. That's the issue right there.
Yeah. So one solution is, they could grow it, but then that's not going to solve the immediate problem. So that what the issue is, and this is an issue that a lot of states and in the United States have legalized marijuana, but if they have a city that is on an island, then you run afoul of, because it's still illegal under federal law. And so what the Martha's Vineyard government said is, look, we don't want to create a clash with federal law, so we're going to say in our legislation that you cannot bring it in, like you said, by boat or plane across federal water. And so what they're saying now is that they're thinking about changing that because they want to settle this, and they're thinking about saying, hey, we'll ease up on that and let you bring it in that way. But another solution would be somebody open up a grow house there.
There's an opportunity here. Somebody else go there
live on the vineyard, grow weed,
do it. Good Lord,
Yeah.
BB Shea, this is the opportunity you've been looking
I'll
for.
be the plug.
There
I'll
you
do
go.
it.
God,
Yeah.
you go up there and do that. There's more animal stories today, and we all wept when Chris Dim brought us this earlier in the week in a Dim report from Port Orchard, Washington. There are a couple of pigs that were set to be butchered by a company that does do that. They go out and butcher pigs, and Chris Dim very graphically went through what entails hanging them upside down.
Well, first the bullet in the brain.
Okay, bleed them out.
Then you
all
slit
that
the throat. Then you hang them up by 1 foot.
Right.
So the blood comes out.
Okay. So this company went out to the address. They found a couple of pigs. They bled them out and all that. Well, here come the homeowners home and saying, "What are you doing? Those are our pet pigs, Patty and Betty." And they said, "Well, you wanted us to butcher them, right?" And they said, "No, you're at the wrong address. Like the house was down the street. What are the odds? What are the odds?" Now, I made the mistake of saying to Biggie, "At least wouldn't you take the bacon and so forth from the pet pigs?" And he called me
a monster.
a monster for that.
I mean, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
So, do they have any kind of recourse against this company that butchered the wrong pigs? Their own?
They do. They do.
I hope.
They have recourse. They
My
do.
God, I would hope.
And
Yes.
it's actually here. It's not as minimal as it is in a lot of states. And Chris Dim, I grew up on a farm, and we killed hogs, and he left out that important step where you dunk the whole pig into the boiling water and then shave all the hair off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh God.
Apologies. They did not get that far before the owners had gotten home.
Oh God, Lisa, you're so much tougher than I
Forgot the
am.
boil.
Oh, you do a boil to get the hair off, and then you bleed them out. So they did all this before the owners came home and said, "That's Patty and Betty that you've got
It's
here."
Patty and Betty. It's Patty and Betty. So in Washington State, where this went down, they're in big trouble, these guys, because it's a felony to kill someone's, either their pet or their, in this case, even if it's livestock kept as a pet. And the statute gives the owner a civil cause of action where they can get attorney's fees and treble damages, which means 3 times their damages. And pigs, unlike a dog, have a lot of value. I mean, these pigs might be, a couple $1,000s or something. I mean, because, if you go to go to a livestock auction, and a good pig will fetch some money, for all the meat that comes off of it. So pigs have a greater value typically than an ordinary domestic dog would have. And so they would get that, value times 3 plus their attorney's fees, plus these people. Now, I don't know if the Washington authorities will prosecute these folks under that felony statute, but it is a felony, and these owners are asking for those charges to be pressed.
I bet they are. They were hopping mad. I tell you who's the maddest about this thing is our own Biggie. He was very upset.
I'm glad to hear all this.
I am shocked.
It's because of how callous they were.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we're not even going to charge you for the meat.
Yeah, that's what they said. We're not
We're not
gonna-
going to charge you for the butchering.
They
not gonna
said
charge
the
it.
butchery's on the house.
Yeah, they said-
And they just drove up. And this was the crazy thing. Nobody was home. They drove up
right.
to these people's farm.
That's right.
Why wouldn't you check, at least knock on the door and
Thank
make sure
you.
you're at the right
Yeah.
house or something?
You'd think you'd have to get the owner and point at the pigs and say, "These are the ones you
remember,
want."
their work order said,
Which pigs did you want slaughtered? Right.
their work order said, go to this street,
Yep.
kill the 2 pigs.
That's right. And they went to the right
Right.
street, but the wrong house, and there were 2 pigs there. What are the odds?
What are the odds, right?
It's awful.
And don't try to switch sides now, Chris Kelly.
I
You were
just-
on that. You keep that same energy from the other day.
Hey, what are you going to do, pigs? Because I thought, boy, you really live and learn. I thought Lisa would say, yeah, they're pigs. They're not worth anything. So
More than a dog.
They're worth more than. I thought you were going to say it's not worth the legal fees to even bother. They're just pigs. It's just livestock. No. Well, she grew up on a farm. I don't think
Lisa
I knew
knows.
that. She knows how to boil them. Jeez.
Oh, I did that. My whole childhood. It was in the winter. You do it in the winter, coldest day of the year. You want to do it. And
Oh,
But the pigs hate when it gets cold.
yeah. Pigs.
It's coming.
God, when the
Winter's
autumn,
coming.
the autumn
Winter's
air
coming.
comes, what? How horrible.
Stay away from the blonde. She'll throw you in the water.
She
She's never
starts-
come out.
She turns on the stove about November. That's it. Lisa, thank you very much as always. We appreciate it. Lisa Lanier, our official attorney, LanierLawGroup.com or HireAHeavyweight.com. Thank you, Lisa.
have a great weekend.
You too.